All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fashion Experience. This is International Red back after almost been a year now. And a matter of fact, not only is this the Fashion Experience, but my topic today is experiences. Because we've been through a lot of experiences in this last year that the whole world has never experienced. This is one experience that the whole world has not experienced. But me, I try to stay positive. I try to stay on a positive note. So throughout this whole year, I stayed optimistic despite of all the situations and all the things we had to go through. You know, as being as old as I am, 68 years old, I was able to handle this gracefully, and I did what I had to do with very much charisma, you know what I mean, and style. As I do it with style. Me and my queen, I have a queen now. Let me give her a shout out. Let me give a shout out to Beverly, my queen. You understand me? That I haven't. The last time I did a show, I think we were just getting together. But I've been with her for over a year now, and we're doing great, and everything is straight. And what I have to say is you have to stay optimistic. You have to stay positive. You cannot be getting depressed. And if you have experiences will carry you through whatever you're going through. What I mean by the experiences as well as the knowledge, because experience is the best teacher of any incident. So like I say, for instance, before the pandemic, you wasn't doing very much. You didn't have very much experience at living life or doing very much in life. Well, through this pandemic, you did not have a chance to actually, do anything. What I mean by that is, you didn't get no experiences if you haven't had any before because you couldn't travel. You couldn't go nowhere but to the store. They closed all the stores. They closed schools. They closed places where you go get music. They closed, all these places where you interact with people to where you learn things and encounter things. So if you were young, you were kind of like in a stagnated position, something that the world has never been through, But as me being a person that lived a long time and been a lot of places and did a lot of things, I could sit back and reminisce on what I've done and where I've been and appreciate the life I lived. Because we were at a standstill. You got to look at the fact that we were at a standstill. And what I mean by a standstill, we were standing still to the point to where it was like you took inventory. You take inventory and look at yourself and see where are you going in life, what are you doing in life, and, what have you accomplished in life. Because you say, if I ever get out of this, I want to be a better person. You should have been thinking like that because it's a lesson learned, you know what I mean? It was a long lesson to be learned because we were at a phase in life, like I said before, I knew we had never been through this, So you had to look at that experience as a positive experience. And if you're young, you look and say, well, hey, I got to be the best I can be because I don't know when this world going to end. That could have been the end of the world, could have stopped. We could have been in that. Just think if we'd have been in this position where we had to wear a mask and stay distant from people and not interact with people for years. For years, it could have been, that could have been. Where they could have never found a vaccine. We could have been stuck in that situation for years and it was steady taking people's lives. Do you know that would have been so tragic if that would have happened, But you never know what's going to happen. So you make every day your best day. Because just like when I remember the last day that I was out in public, when they closed down the gym, the senior center, this place, they closed all these places down, right? And when they closed everything down, it was like the world was at a standstill. They told everybody to go home, stay in the house. And there was nobody on the streets. It was like, it was something that we'd never been through, right? But I was able to deal with it because throughout my life, you know what I'm saying, I've been through bitter and I've been through sweet, and I know life is like that, bitter and sweet. This is just something that the whole world had to deal with. But as I looked at it in my life personally, I deal with it, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, I woke up this morning, I got a chance at life, be the best I can be, and just stay home and, you know what I mean, go by the rules and do what I'm supposed to do and stay out of people's face and, remain in first place in my race, and that's what I did. You understand? I stayed the best, being the best I can be and doing what I did, And it made me appreciate life more this 9 months that I went through all this, because all I was doing was me and my woman was being the best we could be. We were dressing every day and going out and doing what we had to do the days that we were together, you know, which was not every day, but it was times that we did, but we appreciate each other more because we did what we had to do, you understand me? And it made us closer together. So it's like people got to look at this situation and make the best out of the situation because it's all we got. There's certain things that are inevitable. You cannot change this. There's something you cannot change. What happened with the pandemic is something that happened, and we couldn't avoid it. We couldn't change it. We had to deal with it. You see, because a lot of people didn't make it through the pandemic, you know, by being hard-headed, not coming out, not wanting to wear their masks, not wanting to keep 6 feet apart, wanting to go to these large gatherings. You know, a lot of the stuff they went to, that was unnecessary. It was not necessary for them to do, and some of them got injured, they got hurt, you know what I mean, because of the pandemic. They caught COVID-19, went to the hospital and died. Because when this thing first happened, people, they didn't have no understanding about it. They didn't know as much, and people were dropping like flies. So it was like, pay attention. You know, listen to what these people say. Just like now they're telling you to get the vaccination. A lot of people refuse to get the vaccination. What is your alternative? If you don't get the vaccination, what is the alternative? You went through the worst. What could be the worst that could happen now? You know, out of all this research they have and all that they know about it, and the fact that millions of people have taken the shot, and it seemed to be doing people good. So it would be foolish not to take the shot. It'd be foolish for you not to take the shot. You'd be smart to take the shot, and your hopes will be up. You'll feel better. I got both my shots. I feel good about it because I did what I was supposed to do. I did what I had to do, and I feel better all the way around. You understand me? You get a new lease on life just by doing that because you're not worried about the fact of catching it, you see? So that's why it's like when you went through the pandemic and you get to this point, you feel really great because, hey, you got something that's priceless. You got your life back. You understand? You know what I mean? Which you know you're all right now. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, then you know, it's an adversity that you made it through. Like I said, adversity is to see the greater benefit. Now, if you haven't got the experiences that you should have had before the pandemic, like I said, travel. I was telling people this all along before the pandemic. I said travel. I said go, go to different countries, go to different states, go do what you can do if you can do it financially. If not, be adventurous in your own community. Go take these trips, go on places. I told people this when I went to my little trips and places I went to. I told them, be adventurous. Do things, you understand what I'm saying, that you ordinarily wouldn't do because you don't know when it comes to a time where you can't do it. Like people always wait till they retire and say, I'm going to do this when I retire. Then when you retire, you may not be healthy enough to go travel and do these things. So do them when you can. You know what I mean? Don't put it off. In other words, a lot of people put things off. They just do the talking and they don't do the walking. You got to do the walking. Make the steps to do the thing. Get the things done while you can do them. Because there'll be a time in your life where you won't be able to do it. Just like this 9 months, there was a time you couldn't do it then. That was just a miniature recess in life that you took, that they made you take, and that let you know you couldn't get a plane, you couldn't get the train, you couldn't leave, you couldn't go here, you couldn't go there. You know what I mean? You were restrained by the system to not go nowhere. What about when you get old and you get sick and you can't go nowhere and you're restrained to your house because of your health conditions? Then there's no looking back. It's over with. You understand? You get to a point in your life where you didn't do these things and you experiences you should have made and should have had, you should have done them. Because there'll be a point where you're too old to go back and do them. So do them when you can. Like I don't regret nothing I did in life. Like I said, I was in a fast life. I was in a game, but I traveled when I traveled. I went where I was supposed to go and did what I did. And I may not have went out all over the world, but I went all over the country. And I did that because that's what I wanted to do. And that was my goal, and that was what I wanted to do. You know, it was go to all these cities and states. I wanted to go to Florida, Miami, because Miami Vice was an impressive show to me, and I liked to dress and travel, so I made sure to go to Miami and anchor there and play the town for months, and I did that. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things I wanted to do. So I did it at the time. You know, I didn't put things off. I wouldn't want to let grass grow up under my feet. I wasn't ever scared. I played for my money and I played all across the country. But a lot of people don't have that kind of heart. So what I say to those that don't have the heart, when you have the opportunity, you have to get courageous. You have to have heart. You got to be hungry for experience. You got to be a hunger for experience. Because experience is just like money. You know what I mean? You have those experiences and memories, you understand me? It's all go together. It's just like health as well. So when you have your health, what do? You enjoy your life and do the things that you do when you have health, because health is not always going to be with you. You see what I'm saying? Health is not going to be with you. When you get 80, 90 years old, you may not be able to travel and do the things that you was doing when you was 30 and 40. And if you do, you ain't going to be as active and enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be restrained to medications, to, arthritis might hit you. You know what I mean? Rheumatism. You know what I'm saying? You might have blood clots. Different things, can affect your life to where you be limited to what you can do. So when you can do it, do it. And I'm telling you this now because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I have to do. When this pandemic is over with, I'm going to be even better than I was before the pandemic came up. I'm going to be greater than I was before in all aspects of my life, in dressing, in acting, in going places, in doing things, being the best I can be, better than ever before. You understand me? With more experiences to do, to indulge in. Many more experiences, life experiences. I got a lot of living to do, and I'm going to do a lot of living because that's what you got to think optimistic. You got to be positive. You can't be thinking about all this negativity, all these haters, and all these people putting all this negative stuff in your mind, in your life. Don't pay them no mind. Be your best self. Make you and yours happy. Whoever you're with, your mate, whoever you're with, that's in your little world, your children or your family, you do for them, you and your family. The rest of them, don't let them bother you. Don't let them interfere with you. If you have a family and you're able financially to go on trips, go to Disneyland, go to all these different places when the kids are out of school, when you have time to be off as a family, go places and do things. Go to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm. Do all that stuff that you can do when it opens back up, because those things are part of life. Those are life experiences. These are the experiences you need to do when you get older. You've done that. You have done it. You did it. Don't get paranoid. Don't let this epidemic, this thing scare you. Don't let it frighten you when you don't come out the house because you're scared that you're going to catch something. That's why you go get your shots, so you ain't got to worry, be scared, because most people, that's what they're going to do. If they don't get them, they're going to run around, you understand me, not ready for them. And that's a bad thing to do. You want to be on top of your game. You want to be your best self. You want to do what's best for you, because you got to be the best you can be. You understand? You cannot, you understand me, go around, being negative in this time, in this place. Me, I stay away from the people that's on, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that. I stay away from it, because all that is, people want to see you do that because misery loves company, and they want to see you in the same boat they in. You know what I'm saying? They want to see you tore up and raggedy and all that. And that's no good. You get away from them people fast and quick. When they want to hold you down or they don't clap for you when you win, you get away from them, you understand what I'm saying? Because they are not for you. And you don't need those people around you. You keep being the best you know how to be. Be your best self and be thankful for what you have and what you got. Because I know this year I lost a lot of friends. Not just behind the pandemic, but I lost a lot of friends because they're getting older. People that are in their 60s, 70s, they dying because they lived their life 30 or 40 years. They might have been drinking and drugging and all that, and then they might have cleaned up. Some of them never cleaned up, and they ended up, getting sick, you know what I mean, liver problems, different things. You have those problems when you don't get clean in time. You know what I mean? Your health be messed up. And health you cannot buy. Excuse me, you cannot buy health. You cannot buy health. You cannot take health and buy it. Health is priceless. If you have your health, you can't buy it, man. You need a liver. You might be able to buy the liver, but what about the other parts of your body? I mean, everything it get deteriorates. It's bad. You can't get a new body. You can't go get a new body like you get a new car. You know what I mean? You can't go say, boom, I want a 2002 body. Boom. No, man. You what you got and what you have and what you are is all you got. And you have to realize yourself that you have to be the best you can be, and you cannot be no one else. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to be no one else. Don't be trying to do what they do. Create your own experiences. Be your own best self. Be you. You know what I mean? That's another thing. People want to follow somebody. Go somewhere because they going. Buy something because they buying it. No. Create your own experience. Be your best self. Don't follow nobody to be somebody because that's what they doing. No, you don't do that. You be your best self because you know that you are the best you can be. You know, being the best you can be is all you need to be. You understand? That's all you need to be. You need to practice being on top of your game. You know, what I mean by being on top of your game is being on top of being in control of your life. You know, being in control, be a exerter, be a leader. Be a leader, not a follower. Don't follow nobody nowhere. You lead the way. Whatever you do, whatever you say, you be a leader in your life. Some people need to follow, but when you get a certain age, try to understand and comprehend and be a leader. Be someone to go places and do things. Because I know when I was young, I was running around a lot of people, Rudy Poots and people that was half-stepping, and I outgrew them. I had to get away from them. Because when I got to a certain age, and I knew what I wanted, and I knew I had to go get it, and I know they was half-stepping, I got away from them, man. I would see them occasionally, but I'd be that accomplished and did what I wanted to do, and then I'll go around them when I'm shucking and jiving. There'd be a time where I used to shuck and jive at that time, but I knew what I was doing. I knew what to do when I was time to do it. And when I was shucking and jiving was the time that I was just playing at the time. I wasn't really serious. And I knew what I was doing, so I did it. Like I seen my friend Jody today, and I was telling him, I said when we was young and we was drinking and drugging and doing what we did, and we still was hustling, having money. That was cool at the time because we had to learn, we had to get the experience to get to where we at now, to get serious about it when the drugs and drinking became a problem and it was no more fun. We had to let that go, you understand what I'm saying? Because if we didn't, we would have been dead. So we knew to live long and live strong, we had to live right. You know what I mean? It ain't square to live right. It's not square. It's smart. People don't understand it. They call you a square. Because, man, I'm going to tell you, square is the best way to be right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a hip square. Because I'm going to tell you something. By me being fast and slick and understanding clever, let me know about style and how to have class and charisma and finesse. You understand me? You know, and swag. All that people be trying to get, which is priceless. I got it. You understand? But I got it through the type of life I live. But being on the other end is being a square, man, that's the best way to be. Be a hip square, know what's going on, been through it, know what it is, and then be square because it's a choice you make and you're happy being it. When you have no experiences, then you're square unnecessarily. Then you're a paranoid, scared square because you have no experiences. That's when you're actually a square. But when you got the experiences, you've been there and you've did this, and you did all that, and you come back to the point to where you figure peace of mind and happiness is your ultimate goal. And you know, being square is really what's happening. You don't need all that drama. But you had drama when you was experimenting. You know, when you once get through all and been through that, you know what you want in life. You want happiness. You know, at least you know what you want. Some people don't know it, and that's why they stay in a ball of confusion. They stay in chaos and madness. That's why I would never want to be young again. Because when I was young, I was sharp. Like when I was 40 and 50 years old, I was sharp, razor sharp, because I was thinking like I'm thinking now. 20 years ago, you know, I was still sharp. You know what I'm saying? I was ahead of the game. And that's when I cut all them suckers loose and was solo and did my thing and got money and did what I had to do and did it for myself. And I ran solo. I was by myself most of the time. I didn't run with no group or no crowd because I knew everything I had to do. When you once get the game and you learn the plan, then you be around people. When you once get it and you got it, you graduate, man, you go on your own, you go solo. When you graduate, you go by yourself. You don't need a whole bunch of people with you. You don't need a bunch of brothers. You don't need a lot of people accompanying you when you go out and taking care of business. When you go to a club and you're trying to have fun, if you're trying to catch a woman, you don't need a whole bunch of people with you then. Now, if you just going to kick it with the fellas and you just having fun with their company, that's different. You know, then you do that. But I've outgrown that. I don't do none of that. But when you trying to catch and you want to get you a woman, you don't go with no 3 or 4 dudes. You don't ride in a car with 3 or 4 dudes. You be by yourself, and you will catch. When you chucking and jiving, and you fronting, you really ain't trying to be serious about catching or nothing. You trying to impress the fellas you with, that's when you be around them. Because you trying to impress them, make them think you trying to come up and do all this. But if you really trying to come up, you come up by yourself, and you don't let nobody know you come up. That's your business. You don't let everybody know it. And that's what people didn't understand. When I was young, I had to learn the hard way. You understand me? Because I used to listen to dudes I had mentored like Cadillac and different people that showed me the way. They told me, man, you don't need that. You don't need to be with them. You don't need to be running with them. I ran to them because I learned certain things from them. And then after I learned what I learned from them, I got away from them. You understand? I got away from them because I realized that the experience that I got with them was cool. See? Then it was time to take it to the next level. So that, but I gravitated and I cherished the experience that I acquired with them. I acquired an experience that would be priceless, you understand, to get me to the next level, and then so on and so on and so on, to be where I'm at, to be at a point now where I know where I'm at and I'm happy where I'm at, and I know I'm a giant in the game, and I'm a giant in life. And see, a lot of people can't say that. They be knick-knack, half-steppers, and all that. They don't even know that. They don't even know what category of a person they are. And they be in the game, or they be in life, or they living, or they be doing all kind of things. They might even be in Christ, going to church, doing all that. But whatever they do, they ain't doing it wholeheartedly or being faithful or being true. So therefore, you understand me, I call them half-steppers. Anyway you look at it, the experience that I experienced with these people, it's like actions speak louder than words. You have to practice what you preach. Just don't be talking about it. You got to be about it. You got to walk the walk. Just don't talk the talk. That's why I said make experiences. Don't just talk about other people's experiences. See, people have a tendency to want to talk about the experiences of other people or some books they read or some, how would you say it? Or some, stories they read, movies that somebody else made, a character in a movie or whatever, or even they try something that he did. It's not going to work for them. You got to build your own resume. You got to build your own reservoir of knowledge and experience. And then you come to the conclusion what works for you. Because he may not have got it. Honestly, he might have got lucky on that situation. You can't go on luck. He might have got lucky on the situation he was in. You want to be skillful, so you go by what you do. You experience what you do by doing it, and then you know how gracefully you did it and got it done. And then you know if that works, and you do it again and again, and then you make it be a confirmed experience where you expertise at that. You get expertise at it, and then that's where knowledge come in. You know what I mean? Knowledge along with experience makes it what it is. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's why experience is so important. You have to realize these things because if you don't have the experience, then you're not going to make it in life because you will be apprehensive. What I mean by that, you'll be scared and you'll be intimidated. You got people that have been in Oakland scared to come to San Francisco. Simply because the crowd is the city, the title, crowds of people, and this and that. People don't want to go to New York. They used to tell you, go to New York, you're going to get robbed, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. No, I've been to New York. New York is just like another city. Point of it is, it's your attitude, the way you go there and conduct yourself. People are clever, people are slick, people are hungry. Yeah, they like that. But if you've been in the game and you've been traveling bad places, bam, you're going to make it, you're going to win. Because I went there, and I went on my own, and my cousin was worried about me. I went to Miami, I've been all over places. Come to a city by myself, with myself, nobody else. And went straight to the ghetto, right where the dope fiends and everybody was at. But I'm a player, I'm experienced. So I experienced all this. So when I went to New York, it was just another stepping stone. It wasn't nothing I was worried about. So if you carry yourself with confidence and you be sharp and alert, you're going to make it. It's the scared man that's going to get charged. It's going to get weak, the one that don't know what he's doing, don't know what to say when somebody come up to him. You got to know what to say, how to act, and what to do. And that's why you got to have experience. And experience is best to get it when you're young. Because if you get old, you're going to be set in your old ways. You're going to be set in a situation where you're not going to want to take changes. You're not going to adapt to taking part in any changes. And if you don't take any part in any changes, then your life is going to stay the same. And that's where it gets boring. It might be safe and you be content, but you're not challenging yourself. So you're not really being adventurous. You got to be adventurous. You know what I mean? It's like me. I always dress up every day and do my best and go places and do things. Do what I can do under the circumstances because that's what it is. But the main thing you got to do is build you some experiences. Get some experiences up under your belt because that's the only way you're going to really win. Even though people may not realize that's what they're doing, when they take these adventurous chances and go places and do things, you know what I'm saying? Networking with people and talking with different people and going to different places. You know, you don't discriminate. Don't be discriminated because this place might be certain kind of people that you ain't used to be around. You know, you can't condition yourself to one type of person. You know, you in the game, so you just be around those kind of people. Here, these squares over here, they making movies, they're doing something. You got to adapt to all types of people and go all kind of places. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do that. And in order to do that, you got to make that step. You got to make a giant step, you understand what I'm saying, out of your comfort zone. And be the person you want to be and be the best you can be. And make sure you rack up them experiences. This is International Red for the fashion experience. And I'm back on my shows are back. I'm having back once a week. I'm back at you. And I want you to realize one thing, that we've been through it, and it's nothing but going to the top now. I'm back and I'm going to the top. And I want you to know that fashion experience going over and out. Dress, like I said, dress up, look up, dress up, and be the best you can be. Each and every day better than you was yesterday. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen.